Welcome to Geek Fandom Media. I am your host, Chris, and you guys, we got some big, massive reports and rumors we're going to be talking about in today's video, coming from Jeff Snyder himself and Daniel RPK, both very reliable inside scoopers. Now, we're talking Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're talking some X-Men rumor castings. It's quite fascinating to me that, these rumors and these reports are coming out, but I'm like, we're still so far away from the MCU's X-Men even happening. You cannot do an X-Men film in the middle of the multiverse saga when you're trying to wrap up and conclude and give the original X-Men their farewell in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Because best believe after this multiverse saga is done, we're going to be jumping into, the mutant saga. So you want to start fresh with fresh faces. Now, I'm not sure which actors will cross over. I have a feeling people like Channing Tatum or even, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, because there was that report, that he was going to do more films beyond, these next two Avengers movies. But it's going to be interesting to see what's happening. So let's jump into it, you guys. Coming from Daniel RPK. So Marvel Studios wants Tom Holland Spider-Man to appear in Avengers Doomsday. The deal with Sony is already in place. So they've already talked to Sony. They got the deal ready to go. But the studio is working through an agreement with Tom Holland, which includes financial terms and scheduling. He just got done shooting The Odyssey for Christopher Nolan. Now his next film to shoot is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Keep this in mind, Avengers Doomsday is currently already shooting. I'm like, how are you doing this movie without your cast fully available? This makes no sense to me. Oh, they want him for Avengers Doomsday. You guys are currently shooting Avengers Doomsday right now. First and foremost, it was already weird to me that Tom Holland wasn't going to appear in this movie and his name wasn't on one of those chairs when that casting announcement happened. I was like, that's odd. Tom Holland's been the face of the MCU right now. Why wouldn't you have, your biggest character in one of your biggest films? It's just so strange to me. I'm like, how are you doing this movie? And the reports are stating, that, the script isn't finished. Marvel is so weird with how they handle things. Like, they will shoot a project and have 3/4 of a script complete. I'm like, how do you feel confident in your film and your script isn't even done? But I believe Marvel Studios. And you take a look at the first Iron Man film. That first Iron Man film, the script wasn't complete when they were shooting Iron Man. And guess what? Iron Man is arguably a top 5 MCU film of all time. I just don't know how they're doing it. I'd be extremely frustrated. I'd be so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, you guys, the script isn't even done. The casting is not even done yet. Like, it's so weird to me that these reports are coming out from Daniel RPK. I'm like, what? But they're already shooting this movie. They don't have Tom Holland signed to this movie. How long do you plan to shoot Avengers Doomsday? Because realistically, this is probably a 3 to 6 month shoot. I don't know how it's going to really hit that release date, summer of next year. But, Godspeed, Marvel. I believe in them. They haven't let us down yet with an Avengers film. They've all been bangers. So in Marvel Studios, we trust when it comes to the Avengers movies. But coming from the Hot Mic podcast, you guys, Jeff Snyder, this is some interesting stuff. So rumor is that Sadie Sink is reportedly playing Mayday Parker in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which would most likely be Tobey Maguire's daughter, which makes all the sense in the world. Andrew Garfield Spider-Man has never met, a Mary Jane, so it wouldn't work out. I'm fascinated by this because now this kind of does confirm. Take this with a grain of salt. Rumor, this confirms it's a multiverse story, but also can be very grounded as well. But does that mean Tobey Maguire show up? What's going on with that? Because I remember reading some reports saying that, before Destin Daniel, Creighton signed on to Spider-Man Brand New Day, he wanted to kind of eliminate the more bigger picture of the multiverse storyline and go more grounded. And, Toby and Andrew, essentially were worked out of the movie. But they're going to come back for, your Avengers Doomsday or whatever, or, your Secret Wars. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. I didn't need them to return in a Spider-Man Brand New Day. But if you're going to introduce Mayday, that's going to be really interesting to me. Sadie Sink is a wonderful actress. So I'm really curious to see how this story is going to pan out in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It seems like they're juggling a lot. But I have hope. I've enjoyed the MCU's trilogy of the Spider-Man films. I think Spider-Man No Way Home is one of the greatest films of all time. And I honestly do believe that, Spider-Man Homecoming is very underlooked. I really enjoy Spider-Man Homecoming a lot, like a lot. But moving on to the next one, you guys, Sarah Snook is rumored to be playing a secondary villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. No idea who this actress is, but a lot of people seem to like it. A lot of people are even, fan casting, like, oh, will she be Silver Sable? It's a possibility. Anything can happen. But on this third report, you guys, Mr. Negative will reportedly be the main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm like, oh, Martin Lee, the CEO of the Feast Foundation? How does that tie into Aunt May? Because they kind of did tease and hint, the Feast Foundation in Spider-Man No Way Home. That would be very interesting. He's the leader of the demons. So I've known this character from the original Spider-Man game on, the PlayStation 4 when that first came out. That was my introduction to, Mr. Martin Lee and, Mr. Negative. So I'm quite fascinated how they're going to do that. I think it's going to be an absolute banger of a banger. And he's also a villain of Shang-Chi. So that could work out. Who directed Shang-Chi? Daniel Destin Cretton, you guys. It's all coming full circle. It really is. His powers and ability to access the light force and dark force. That can look really beautiful. And I'm curious to see, if Martin Lee knew Peter. Because obviously, with the whole Feast Foundation, being CEO, he worked closely with Aunt May. So maybe there is some kind of relationship there, just like how they did it in the video game, which I would really, really like and take a lot of interest in. So that's quite fascinating to me, you guys. So moving on to the next big ones. This is the X-Men stuff. Get ready, you guys. So Daisy Edgar Jones is rumored to be in the mix for the role of Jean Grey in the new X-Men film. I feel like we hear so many casting rumors for this X-Men movie. I'm like, what is happening? I mean, with the recent reports that Jake Schreier is in talks to potentially direct the X-Men movie, you can't cast a film without having your director yet. So I think that's pivotal. Once he signs on, then you can start casting. But it's been fun hearing these casting rumors for a new, young, fresh X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm like, okay, well, it seems like I like to read the room a lot. So I go in the comment sections and see what people, are stating about this recent rumor report. And it seems to me that everybody likes this casting for, Jean Grey in the MCU. But not only that, you guys, Marvel Studios is reportedly building the team of the X-Men film around Jean, Cyclops, and Professor X, which I think is brilliant and smart. No more Mystique. No more Wolverine. We've had so many films kind of be the central focus of those characters. You need Professor X. Regardless of what you say, you need Professor X when you're going to do your X-Men film. So I understand him being in there, but having Cyclops and Jean being at the forefront is quite fascinating to me. And I think it's a brilliant idea, the way for them to lead the charge with those two characters. Cyclops is your lead guy. He is essentially the leader of the X-Men. X-Men 97 did it perfect. The X-Men films, you guys, well, we all know how terribly they handled Cyclops. That's why I can't wait for Avengers Doomsday. Well, we get to see James Marsden, you guys, in the redemption role of Cyclops in his iconic blue suit. It is going to be oh so epic. 25 years in the making, you guys. We're going to feel satisfied like we saw Hugh Jackman come out in his iconic yellow Wolverine suit. I cannot wait to see how they're going to do that, you guys. Avengers Doomsday can't get here sooner enough. More on X-Men. This has been a heavy X-Men one. So, rumor has it that Marvel Studios is looking for a black actor to play Professor X and potentially have Denzel Washington, yet again with this rumor, play Magneto. Now, isn't it confirmed that Denzel is going to be in Black Panther 3? Ryan Coogler is already writing him an original part. So I don't believe that rumor whatsoever. And I want Marvel to kind of stay authentic and comic book accurate to the characters of the X-Men, especially when you're first going to be introducing your X-Men, who are going to be leading the charge into your new phases. I think they should keep it authentic. I don't need them to race swap any characters. Honestly, I don't. It hurts the lore of the character. It hurts the history of the character. So keeping Magneto Jewish, I think would be brilliant. Now were there black Jews? I'm pretty sure there were black Jews, but I just don't think Marvel Studios right now is kind of in hot water. They're struggling at the box office. They've lost trust with their fans. And to make big, more drastic changes, I don't think is necessarily a good idea. So stick to the script and keep it authentic. That's what I'll say for the, the race swapping and gender bending things that we've seen so far in the MCU, because ultimately I feel like it always shoots themselves in the foot. It doesn't work out, and there's massive fan backlash. Like, I get it, but I also get it. We're in 2025. We're a very progressive world. I understand. But the source material is the most important thing when you're creating these comic book, these comic book mediums. It is. Don't fade away from the source material. These are what fans love. And you're trying to adapt them faithfully, stick to the source material. That's what I'll say, you guys. But let me know what you guys think about today's topics on today's video for Geek Fandom Media. Honest thoughts and opinions, you guys. What do you think about Tom Holland, potentially signing on to join the cast of Avengers Doomsday? Let me know what you guys think about all these X-Men rumors. There's so much going on, you guys, with these reports coming from Daniel RPK and Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching Geek Fandom Media. Peace.